Hello, I'm Ivan Navi, and I haven't slept in days. Here's a little story about doing these videos. The last one's very long, and even as I'm recording this, I'm still doing exporting for this, along with my editor who's taking a nap. The problem is we want to get it out on time for Valentines. Kind of had to pull an all-nighter to try to get it out on time. And I can't take caffeine. It's making me really weird. Okay, but now on to happier topics. Today's theme of this final countdown is. What is it again? Oh, right. My top 10 ships that did become canon. Now, what are going to be the rules for this one? One, I'm going to try to condense this list, trying to be, because we really can't take another all-nighter like that when editing. Two, it's my own opinions. It's one per universe, one per storyline, one per series. That is the one rule I really have to follow. Two, I think I might be already on three. Three, they have to be a canon ship, a canon couple in some facet. And they can't have broken up. Besides that, it's pretty open-ended for me. So let's get started, and I am going to try to keep it a lot shorter than the last one because kind of went a little nuts. I can talk about this a long time. So let's start. At number 10, Kurisu and Okabe from Steins Gate. Now, to avoid some time issues in the other one, like in the other video, I'm not going to delve too deeply into the story. I'm just going to go into the characters and why I think they worked, what moments made it happen. In Steins Gate, Okabe accidentally invents a time machine using a toaster and a cell phone. Yeah, even as I say it, that sounds pretty weird. It sounds slightly more possible in the series. Anyway, Okabe is a self-proclaimed mad scientist. Kurisu is an actual scientist. Stuff happens and he sees her dead in a pile of blood. Panics, makes a phone call, texts, and stuff gets out of there. He sees her again and is absolutely perplexed as why she's not dead. Gets a really odd reaction from him. Kurisu finds him because, why did you think I'm dead? That's kind of a question we all want to ask. She goes to him and finds out, hey, he actually has an interesting experiment going. Soon enough, they get involved in this time travel shenanigan mess, tangling up timelines and all sorts of messes. And throughout all of it, they get closer and closer together. One brilliant plot point near the end is Okabe accidentally realized he accidentally saved her life. And that's not a good thing, because every change in the timeline is doing some bad stuff. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, spoilers, people. If you haven't figured it out, there's going to be spoilers ahead on this. His friend is going to die because of these changes. They can't avert it. One way or another, she is going to die. They can only postpone it hours, days at most, with each change they manage to put back in how it was. So Kurisu decides, yeah, go fix the timeline. Go do this thing. I know I'm gonna die, but this is for the better. And there's a little talk about, well, maybe it's an alternate timeline, but the thing is, he wants to remember her. He has the ability to remember things from across timelines. So they kiss. The excuse is that just to give him one memory he can't possibly forget. So no matter what, it will be together in some way, which is very touching sentiment, especially coming from two nerdy scientists. Then when he gets freaking devastating at the end, they say goodbye and he prepares to undo the sets everything in motion. She returns to him, and it's very clear she wants to say I love you, but the time resets. You think that would be it? Do you think I would give you such a sad ending for starting number 10? Well, no. With time travel, things can get reset. He finds a way. He literally averts fate itself to save her. He still doesn't get with her, but he's just happy to know she's out there somewhere. As he walks on by, he crosses somebody and they turn. And there they see each other. He calls her Christina, the pet name he gave her, and she yells automatically, "That's not my name!" But she doesn't realize why it just slipped out of her mouth like that. So it seems timelines might have been reset, but some portion is still there. They can work from that, and I like that. Averting destiny, fate, and everything just so they can be together and everybody gets happy ending. At number 9, Jacuzzi Splots Ennis Hollister. Hollister? Close enough. I am really hyper on some stuff, so we gotta keep going. In the world of Baccano and Durarara, there are Dullahan, murderers who can pretty much do anything. People that can bench press, cars, and immortals. Jacuzzi and Nice, they're just bootleggers. They are completely human and just criminals. Why did I pick them? It's because they're utterly devoted to one another. And I don't blame them. She's a gun nut, he's a crybaby, but it works. The thing here, this is the thing that sells me on them. When Nice was young, she accidentally set off an explosive. It scarred her face, lost her eye, and as a child that was devastating. She locked herself up in her room and cried. And then she hears a knock on the window. Jacuzzi climbed up the roof and just to see her. And shocked her. The crybaby Jacuzzi had a tattoo of a sword painted on his face. His explanation was that even if you feel alone and a night's outsider because of that scar, look at me. We can be outsiders together now. And it moves her to tears of joy this time. And he says, "Don't cry. I was trying to do this to cheer you up." But it actually worked. And they've pretty much been dating for 10 years when we first see them in the novels or in the anime, whichever you want to go. And then everything gets crazy on the train they're on. They have their first kiss. Not anything romantic. It's just like, well, you stay safe. I'm going to go try to help these people. He kisses her, then runs away to go help people. One of their friends says, "Oh, I didn't know you were so easy there, niece." And she replies, "You jerk, that was our first kiss." And their friend is like, "What? You've literally been dating for like a decade. That was your first kiss?" Which, like, seriously, I would have that reaction too, wouldn't you? They seem to find themselves in trouble a lot. And in the end, they care about each other. They will run to each other's aid, no matter how crazy things get. Another moment comes from Jacuzzi. They think they've won. And he tells her, "I think I've cried enough for both of us. So whatever happens, I don't want you to cry. Because I've already cried for you." It's a sweet sentiment. She doesn't understand it right away. But as he removes the last of her explosives, she does. On the train there's this thing it's a monster to them. A man covered in blood, like soaked all the way through. The rail tracer. This seemingly immortal, impossible beast is there, and they expect it's going to kill them. Probably so, because it's been killing a lot of people. Jacuzzi grabs the explosives, and without hesitating, he goes and rushes towards the monster, intending to take them both out. Jacuzzi's a crybaby, but you gotta give him, the man has balls. Oh, don't worry, it's not even a spoiler. He survives. I watch it yourself. It's like a great moment in the entire series. Jacuzzi later sacrifices himself for somebody else. He orders everybody to stay there. He's gonna turn himself in. They can use the bounty on him to pay off this kidnapping and everything. Jacuzzi, the first one to show up is Nice. Like, "Yeah, I didn't come. You went by yourself. I'm here by myself too." Followed by 20 other people all claiming they came by themselves. Never. Jacuzzi inspires loyalty. And in Nice, who probably could have been a much harder criminal, he inspires love because no matter what, he does love her. respects her. The one person that he would probably easily die for without question is her. And I just find that amazing. And the best thing is they are canon in the series. In the light novels, we actually meet their grandson. So I have to assume they at least have one child. A crybaby and an explosive nut. I love them. Number 8. Tamaki So and Haruhi Fujiwara? Haruhi and Tamaki, let's just say that. I honestly am on too much sugar to properly read my notes. They're from the high school host club, Oran High School Host Club. How to put this? Tamaki thought Haruhi was a boy. That's how they met. Through some long-winded exposition, they got Haruhi to work at the host club as a guy because she owed them money. I really can't explain that one too well. It's a fun shoujo manga. Haruhi is very down to earth, but a little closed off in emotional things. Tamaki is all about the fun. He's the princely character, but he has a dark secret. Throughout the series, she livens up because of him. She gets more comfortable around everyone. She's more emotionally attached to people. She's more personable. And his own traumas, his own issues kind of get solved because of her. He learns to deal with them. He opens up to his own family, which he's had trouble with. He gets reunited with his mom because of her. One of the things I loved about this pairing is that together, they actually made each other better. And I just love when couples do that. And through all the hardships, they do get together. In fact, one of my favorite parts is at the end of the manga series, we see them kissing and everything, and Tamaki is supposed to do this, she's supposed to go to New York for school. She's got a big scholarship and everything is going to be great for her. And then she finds out he's tagging along. He's like, what? Oh, did you really think you were going to get rid of me that easily? And she starts panicking, and he's already got plans. You're gonna have your apartment here. I'm gonna be your neighbor, and it's gonna be great. And she's like panicking, and he comes in and kisses her, and she relaxes. It's like, yeah, okay. That's where she likes the idea of them being together. They finally got this whole mess sorted out by the end. All the issues, all the other love rivals. It's the end for that. Now they're together. That's what makes me work. The last moment, they don't need to say anything. She's happy that they're together. He's happy that they're together. That's the important part. Though their friends do tag along too, and the author, besides being the author of the story, is kind of the shipper for them too. In the final volume of the manga, she drew up an extra picture of them. They're married, happy together, and their friends are there cheering them on. So yeah, they had some weird issues. I mean, he didn't even know she was a girl for like most of the first story. But and he's got issues, she's got issues, everybody's got issues in this series. But they worked it out, and that's why I like them. Number 7, the only ship with an actual ship, the Doctor and the TARDIS. It's a long-running science fiction series. And it's an alien guy and a ship that looks like a police telephone box. How can this work? One word, one phrase, one episode, one writer, maybe 2 writers, I don't know. The Doctor's wife. The TARDIS is alive. It's a living ship. They can't communicate because it's a ship. But in this episode, her mind, her soul, what you want to call that, gets put in a body. Things get topsy-turvy, and the Doctor doesn't realize it at first, but they have such good rapport, even without knowing who she is. And one thing everybody I've talked to about this actually likes is the story the Doctor's always said is he stole a TARDIS and wanted to see the universe. The TARDIS has a different story. She stole a Time Lord to see the universe. And if that doesn't show you how perfect they are for each other, I don't think anyone will. Anything else will. They both basically have the same story and told different ends, but they want the same thing. And honestly, watch the episode because it's hard not to ship them after this episode. Because when he realizes he's talking to his TARDIS, he accidentally just like he's like a little child adoring this thing that's happened to him, and they start bickering with each other, and they're like an old married couple, and they should be. It's like 900 years now. They may have never spoken, but they know each other's faults. They know how each other's works. They are, for all intents and purposes, married. The ending is tragic because the body's dying. She has to go back into the ship and can't talk to him anymore. The thing she wants to say is not goodbye, but hello. That's all. Because they're together. They're never saying goodbye. And there's also a whisper that says I love you, which could be implied that it said something else, but no, that's what she said. That's the thing. And the doctor breaks down in tears, and it's like the kind you just can't stop crying over. Everybody else in the room is like devastated for him and everyone, but it's not a sad story personally, because it's been 50 years. The Doctor's always been with his TARDIS. And even when he was stranded on Earth, when he couldn't use the TARDIS to travel into space and time, he was there trying to repair it. That it's been 50 years already. Just stories from our point of view. More than 50 years. They're still going to be together. They're no writer, no producer, no series director, nothing is ever going to truly split these two characters apart. The TARDIS and the Doctor are together. That's how it is. That's how it works. You can change anything up. You can have one story without one. You can have a story without the other. You can have some stories without either of them. You can split them up across decades, but they'll always find each other. So, whatever you want to say, whoever you want to ship whom with, the Doctor and the TARDIS are together. They're always going to be together. And that's one lasting ship. I don't even know if I'm talking about the couple or the TARDIS anymore, but number 6, Winry and Ed from Fullmetal Alchemist. Honestly, there wasn't so much development on these sides. She was his mechanic. They were friends from like birth, pretty much. They were neighbors. They grew up together. They always had this bond. And throughout the series, throughout the manga, through the anime, you see hints of them falling for each other. Like, she this and that. She notices him developing as an adult. Somebody she can fall in love with. Somebody she likes. In a romantic sense. Ed is very devoted into protecting her and finds it difficult to be around her sometimes very closely because he's very aware he's got developing a crush on her. The reason it did break into my top 10 list here, and why it's on number 6, is one scene. As he's about to depart to this grand new adventure, he stops for a moment and turns to Winry and tells her, I'll give you half of my life if you give me half of yours. Equivalent exchange. He's nervous, he's shocked, even despite just saving his own country. He says, I'll give you half of mine if you give me half of yours. She says, no, I can give you 85%. I can give you my whole life. Maybe that's a lot. About 85. That's the thing. He's an alchemist. He's very about equivalent exchange, but she's not, and she just wrecks that sort of the idea. She's willing to give him his whole life. And honestly, check the anime out. If you can find it, I think they changed distribution. The actors did a magnificent job in this scene. That's his proposal. It doesn't sound like your typical proposal, but there you go. That scene is very touching. After all he's been through, all the stuff and horrors and victories and everything, he wants to be with her. He is willing to break his own mindset to be with her. Just that one scene has nailed it for me.